Eliciting requirements is a critical, ongoing activity that spans the entire project lifecycle, adapting at each phase to ensure stakeholder needs are accurately captured, understood, and delivered upon. It is far more than simply asking users what they want. It involves analyzing business problems, uncovering hidden needs, reconciling conflicts, and ensuring that the right solution is being built. Initiation phase, discovering the why. In the initiation phase, requirement elicitation begins at a high level. The focus here is understanding the business problem or opportunity, the strategic goals behind the project, and identifying key stakeholders. Business analysts, project managers, or product owners start by asking big-picture questions. What is the business trying to achieve? What problems are we solving? Who are the impacted users or departments? Elicitation techniques at this stage often include stakeholder interviews, reviewing business cases or existing documentation, SWOT analysis, and competitor analysis. Analysts also perform stakeholder analysis to identify decision-makers, influencers, and end users. The output of this phase includes a business case, a high-level scope, early assumptions, and constraints. These help determine whether the project is feasible and worth pursuing. Planning phase, defining the what. The planning phase is where the detailed and structured requirement elicitation begins. The objective is to move from broad business goals to clear, actionable, and validated requirements that guide design and development. Elicitation becomes more technical and tactical in nature. Analysts now work closely with stakeholders across departments, for example, operations, legal, IT, and marketing, to dig deeper into needs and expectations. Common techniques include workshops for collaborative ideation and requirement prioritization, process mapping to visualize current and future workflows, surveys and questionnaires to gather input from a wider audience, and observation to identify tasks, pain points, and user behavior. Prototyping or wireframes help stakeholders visualize potential solutions and provide early feedback. User stories and use cases describe how users will interact with the system. At this stage, analysts also categorize requirements into types: functional, non-functional, technical, regulatory, and interface requirements. They use models like Moscow prioritization or Kano analysis to help stakeholders identify what's essential versus what's optional. Execution phase, building the how. In the execution or implementation phase, development begins based on the previously gathered requirements. However, requirement elicitation is still very active here. In Agile projects, for instance, requirements are continuously refined through backlog grooming, sprint planning, and daily stand-ups. As developers build features, new questions arise, dependencies become clear, and users may change their minds based on early feedback. Analysts stay closely involved, clarifying requirements, facilitating communication between stakeholders and developers, and adjusting requirements as needed. This phase also requires managing requirement traceability, ensuring every requirement is linked to a specific deliverable, test case, and user need. In traditional waterfall projects, changes are handled through formal change requests, requiring approval before being added to the scope. Monitoring and controlling phase, ensuring the right thing is built. During the monitoring and controlling phase, the product is tested and performance is measured against the original requirements. Here, elicitation focuses on identifying gaps, defects, or unmet expectations. User acceptance testing, system testing, and stakeholder demos often reveal misunderstandings or missed needs, which leads to late-stage elicitation of new or updated requirements. Analysts facilitate these reviews, gather structured feedback, and lead impact assessments to decide whether the changes should be implemented. Metrics, such as defect rates, customer satisfaction scores, and performance benchmarks help evaluate whether the project is delivering value. Closing phase, reflecting and preparing for the future. In the closing phase, requirement elicitation plays a role in collecting lessons learned and setting the foundation for future projects. Through post-project reviews, stakeholder interviews, and retrospectives, analysts identify what went well and what didn't. Often, new needs or improvement ideas are uncovered during this phase. These might not be part of the current release, but they are documented and added to a future product backlog or roadmap. Elicitation at this stage also involves capturing operational support needs, training requirements, handover documentation, and any post-implementation feedback that can enhance product usability and adoption. This ensures continuity and improvement beyond the project's formal end. Requirement elicitation is not a one-time step. It is a living process embedded within each phase of the project lifecycle. From strategic discovery and initiation, detailed analysis in planning, active refinement in execution, validation in monitoring, to reflective learning in closing, requirement elicitation ensures that stakeholder needs are understood, validated, and built into the solution. Skilled elicitation helps prevent rework, reduce scope creep, and deliver real business value. Successful projects treat requirement elicitation as an ongoing dialogue, not a one-time conversation.